Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Listen up. This story has a moral to it, and it's a message you don't want to miss. For about 15 years, a group of golfers from the Toronto area went to Wheeling, West Virginia to golf, a place called Ogle Bay. I was invited later on, and I went for about 5 years. This story takes place on one of the trips there. It was a gorgeous Saturday morning in the fall. I drove to my buddy Jim's place, ironically, Golfview Drive in Brampton. I was unloading my stuff into Jim's van. I noticed 2 big jerry cans. I said, "Jim, what are these?" He says, "Oh, the radiator has a slow leak." No problem. We drove off, and it was a gorgeous day. Couldn't have been better. Got to Erie, Pennsylvania. Poof. Cars engulfed in white smoke. It's steam. The lights are all flashing. Pull over to the side, wait for 45 minutes. Put in some liquid water, jump in the car. 3 times it happened before we got to Pittsburgh. So anyway, we're by the side of the road when Jim says, "Wow, John's going to be really upset about this." I said, "What's John got to do with this?" "Oh, I was supposed to pick him up at the Pittsburgh airport at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. Anyway, John shows up, and he is really irritated. See, John is the type of person, either one person or 30. He's got to be in charge. If he's not in charge, he's trying to get in charge. That's what he does. So anyway, we got this great log cabin overlooking the golf course. It's the usual stuff. Too much eating, too much drinking, too much storytelling, too much lying. Anyway, about 1 o'clock I hit the sack. I'm dreaming. It's a terrible dream. There's an army marching. I roll over. It's a really bright night. I can see the moonlight. I can hear the army marching. Oh, it doesn't happen in dreams. You don't see in dreams. So anyway, I open my door, I step out into the cabin, and there's John. He's walking away from me. He's wearing a sports coat, his slacks, his street shoes. He's walking on hardwood floor. He's marching all the way down. He was in the military, marching all the way down, and just as he gets to the wall, it's as if some invisible sergeant said, "Column, about face." He pivots 180 degrees. He's now coming at me. John, I have to jump aside. He's going to run right through me. He goes down, he pivots again. He walks right by me. What to do? "Oh, Jim, get out here." And I notice there's no more marching. I turn around, he's gone. He's out the door. So I'm running towards the door, and now I can hear the marching again. Not on hardwood floor, but on gravel. I look, he's going down the driveway, back up the driveway, down the driveway, back up the driveway. Just then Jim shows up. I look at him, he looks at me. What can we do, right? Phone 911. Within 5 minutes, a state trooper shows up. He takes one look, grabs his radio and calls for an ambulance. Says, "I can hear the ambulance coming." So I say to Jim, "We got to follow him. I mean, he won't have a vehicle, he won't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening." So we run in, we get changed, right? And I come out, and they have him in the ambulance. He is strapped in at the back of the ambulance, so he can't move. Wrong. His feet can move. And they are. He is still marching away. So, follow this ambulance into town, and now I know why the waiting room is called the waiting room. We waited for 3.5 hours. The door opens up. In comes John. "Hi, guys. What are you doing here?" John, what happened?" "I don't know. All I remember is a big needle, and I got a sore right cheek." He was so laid back, he made Cheech and Chong look like 2 stressed out dudes. We played golf that day. He whomped us. It was the best game he ever played in his life, right? So anyway, That night we get him back to the cabin, apply him with some booze to find out what had really happened. Well, it turns out that he was divorced or separated from his wife, who was in Toronto, and he was in Louisiana. He didn't bother mentioning he was in Louisiana with Juanita until apparently his daughter did a surprise visit. And she was really surprised when she met Juanita. She panicked, phoned Mother back in Toronto. Mother's lawyer phoned the next day. And see, the guy was in control. He was no longer in control of his family. So this was stressing him out. To the point where he forgot to tell people at work that he was going to West Virginia for a week. So when he told his boss late Friday afternoon that he wouldn't be there next week, boss said, "Great, hope you really enjoy yourself, because if you're not here on Monday, you're out of a job." And of course, then when he showed up in Pittsburgh, standing there walking around for 3 hours, not knowing what had happened, he lost control of everything. And his mind, I guess, couldn't handle what was going on, and his mind went on vacation. So, really, the moral of the story is, no matter how bad your life gets, no matter how stressed out you are, keep in mind, you're only a big needle and a sore cheek away from happiness.